Welcome back, guys, to Entre Nos. I'm Evelin and my co-hostess,
Alondra.
And today we have a very special guest, our first guest, and her name is...
Hi, I'm Nicole.
And Nicole, tell us, how old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
And what grade are you in?
I am a junior.
You're a junior?
Es que I had to fail fourth grade.
Yeah.
I got retained. Pero yeah.
When did you what grade level did you get retained from?
It was fourth, and I was like a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces it was like, you know,
it
was like, it was really hard because apparently if I were to switch schools, I could like pass the grade. But if I were to stay there, I would like stay in the like retain the fourth grade. And my mom was like, "Boss, I don't want you to be a failure." So she just made me stay there. And then we regretted it after, but I'm okay right now.
Yeah. So then it's like it worked out.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Right? So, because I know what school you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people who... If I say the name, I'm sure people are going to be like, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Because that is it's a charter school. It's a charter school, and it's a very strict school where like kids go home and they have like 3 hours of homework, basically.
Yeah, I did not like it.
And you would get detention basically like if you weren't in uniform. I went to go sub there one time. And it was terrible. Like I didn't like it. Like I only went to go sub like once, and I was like, I'm out of here. Like
Why?
I'm not because I just didn't like the environment. It just didn't feel welcome, you know, and it was just not...
You didn't feel welcome?
I didn't feel welcome as a sub, you know, as an adult. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel welcome, and I just felt like, I don't know, it was just a weird vibe for me. Mm-hmm. So I just didn't go back. So how is like... so you're junior and you're 18 years old, right? Yeah. So how do you feel as an 18-year-old being in high school that you still have to follow like rules? Do you consider yourself an adult or you don't?
Well, okay, so there was actually this one time that I had to go to the doctor, and then they had told us, okay, well, if you're 18 or older, you could sign yourself out. Like it makes sense, right? Because why are you gonna have adult? Yeah, why are you gonna have, hey mom, can you pick me up to go to the doctor? Mm-hmm. So I had went to the office. I was like signing myself out and stuff, and then they were like, you need your mom. I was like, what? She was outside, but like still, like she didn't want to come in, so I was like, I was fine. And then they're like, no, you need your mom like to sign you out. I was like, didn't they say like if you're 18 you could sign yourself out? And then no, so my mom had to come out and like sign me out like if I was like younger. Yeah. And it was just really annoying. So it was that part. I'm really okay with dress code. Sometimes the teachers do get like annoying. And they're like, lift up your arms. Oh, I can see your belly, you know, go to the office and stuff. And no, I don't like that rule at all.
No, yeah, okay. So you have free dress.
Yeah, I can wear free dress, yeah.
But it's restricted in a way.
Yeah, like no rips above your knee, stuff like that. And like crop tops, no crop tops.
Crocs, can you take Crocs?
Yeah, as long as it has like the little thing that's in the back. Yeah,
the sports mode?
Yeah.
So you would be in uniform?
Yeah.
I'm always on Crocs.
Yeah, so basically, I've been knowing Nicole since she was like in elementary, since she was little, you know. So Alondra, she's a barber.
I saw that actually. Yeah. I was like looking at you, so I was like, wow. It was really interesting because of like a woman like being a barber, and then you do really good too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked your work. It was really nice.
So she's a barber, and I think I'm a year older than. How old are you again?
28.
Okay, I'm a year older than her, and we've been doing the podcast. I mean, you know, because you've watched a few episodes, I'm assuming, and so whenever basically we haven't had a guest here on Entre Nos, so you're like our first guest. Yeah, so you're like our first guest. So whenever you reached out, I was like, oh, it would be great to have somebody young, you know, because obviously if you know we have some young viewers, it would be good to bring somebody and just have like a great conversation about how is high school now compared to when we went to high school, you know?
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that. And so going into that, I guess, did you have like a question?
Yeah, like what's been the most dramatic thing you've seen in high school that you're like, oh no, like this is like a crazy...
Like, what do you mean though? Like,
like an experience, not yours, but maybe like that you've seen or you witnessed. Mm-hmm. Like, I know probably school fight is like basic.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah, school fights are basic. Everybody fights in school.
I don't feel like they're as common now.
More dramatic, like kids like smoking in the restroom and
Wait,
stuff.
do you see fights often? How often do you see them at your school?
Well, I might.
Don't say what school you go to.
Okay, yeah, I will. At my school, I've seen like a couple of fights. Honestly, one recently, and it was like in a cafeteria or something. But not as often as you would think as before, because I think I go to okay school.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think fights are as common now like they were back then.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel security's more on it now. I feel like teachers know what to expect, and I feel like a lot of the teachers now are a little bit younger than what they were back then. You know what I mean?
I had really young teachers.
Really?
Yeah.
I had old teachers, but I feel are your teachers young or like older? Like, and I mean older, like I don't know, like 40s, 50s, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm young and I'm like
honestly, yeah. Hey, y'all are young. Honestly, I'd say probably 30 to 50.
30 to 50?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I keep crying. Yeah, 30 to 50. But the more younger ones are the ones that work on like sports and like extracurriculars.
Oh, yeah.
fine arts.
I can
all those
see
are
that.
The younger ones.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So then for sure I guess going back to her question, what is like one of the craziest things that you were thinking to yourself, like, what just happened? I need to go home and like tell my parents or something. Like,
honestly, it was a fight actually because there was this one fight where like these two dudes, they were going at it, and one of our principals, he literally like tackled him. Like they tackled him and like lo puso en el piso and all that, and then they were like trying to separate them. And of course students, they took videos and they were making memes because como lo tenía like así, they were making him memes and like videos, and actually one of the videos went viral like on Instagram and on TikTok, and they had like a whole talk with us about saying like you can't do videos. If you do, even if you're taking a video, you get the same consequence as if someone was fighting. So we can't even
like
take
you'll
videos.
get suspended.
Yeah, you get suspended or taken to like another school. I forgot what it was called. But like you get taken to a whole other place with bad kids.
That's like the CEP now,
yeah,
right?
Pretty
but
much.
That's not called CEP anymore.
No, yeah, but pretty much.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Guidance. It's called Guidance Center or. Yeah, that's it. Guidance Center. Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because for us it was CEP.
Yeah, but we wouldn't like get those repercussions if we recorded.
But then
or
again,
if we got in fights.
But again, social media wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. Like it was just Snapchat or something.
Yeah, no, it was
Snapchat
or MySpace.
MySpace,
sis, you're old. MySpace was elementary.
Girl,
yeah,
relax.
Elementary and middle school. We didn't have no MySpace in high school.
Yeah, we did.
Not in high school. We had
okay, maybe
Snapchat and
maybe Facebook
yeah.
and Facebook.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Snapchat.
Instagram wasn't a thing.
Snapchat came first?
Snapchat was like the thing in high school.
Uh-huh. I didn't know that.
MySpace was like so long
I was
ago.
too caught up trying to do my work.
Yeah.
So I was not
a student.
I had good grades.
Yeah.
How were your grades?
Yeah, what type of student do you classify yourself
Yeah, like
honestly.
Well, let's give her the categories. There's the good grades, bad behavior,
bad grades,
good grades,
or good behavior, bad grades,
good behavior, bad grades, or you're just bad overall. Bad grades, bad behavior.
or you're good and you have good grades,
or you're good and you have good grades. What would you honestly?
Okay.
Even if your parents are watching, honestly.
Honestly, I like to say that I have like good behavior and like semi good grades because I'm like math. Let me tell you, I'm horrible at math. I'm being honest. I cheat every single test.
Oh my God.
I write them in little pieces of paper y me lo pongo like in my sock, and then I will pull them out one by one, and I'm like, I put it back. Okay. Anyways,
so nerve-wracking. That is so
it was really bad.
That is scary.
Yeah, she
so
sits me right in front of her.
So
the
you
teacher.
Yeah.
So you
why?
never got it. Wait, so
Because
how
you're
do you
known as a cheater.
I'm confused. So your tests are still on paper?
Yes. Well, for hers at least. Some people still, since COVID, they never gone back to paper, but she still does them on paper. She does everything on paper.
But it's math.
Yeah, it's math.
So how are you like? I don't get how you're cheating. Like, how do you know what the answer is gonna be?
So,
or are you putting the formula?
Oh no! Even with the formula, I can't. Like, I'm just really bad at math. So what I do is I go into the class. I take the long time. I'm like staring at a wall. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I stare at her. I don't know how to do this. And then I'm like, can I take it after school? or can I take it tomorrow? And as I'm like thinking about that, I'm writing down each question on a separate piece of paper.
Wow.
And I put it in my pocket. I really hope she doesn't even find it because I will get in trouble. I put it in my pocket, and then I'm like, okay, well, I couldn't finish, so I'll come back again and take it. And her being, I guess, good, she lets me. So then after that, I told my friends, hey, can you help me how to do this? Cause like, and then they help me. I write down the answer and even the step by step, like really tiny, and then I rip them up into like separate questions, and then I take out one by one, and I pass.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Wait, but at least, so your cheating is because you need extra time.
Yes.
Not because you're literally don't care and don't want to do it.
Both.
It's a little bit both, because me, like, I'm really good at English. Actually, I've been taking senior English. Like, I'm really good at English, but in math, I just can't.
Yeah, I feel like in high school
English
it's
is
either,
also writing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like it's either you're good at math or you're good at the other. I was good at math. I sucked
Oh,
at.
you're lucky.
I hated.
I'm with her. Like, I wasn't so good at math. I was really good in English.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
no,
and
for me,
writing and
no.
all
I
that.
used to have people like sometimes not people, right? I had like one girl that would offer to do my my essays.
Yeah.
Because she was like, desde middle school, she was kind of like a nerd, right? But we shared the same last name. So I would always say she was my cousin, you know, para que no la molestaran.
Yeah.
You know, so it just became a thing. And then we ended up going to high school together, and it just stuck that I was like, yeah, she's my cousin, you know, and I was like a cool girl, you know, so nunca le decía nada. So ella se ofrecía a veces y me hacía a mí mi essay for free.
wow.
But then in high school, I started working, so I would be like, oh, I'll just pay you. Or I would pay people to do my essays because I couldn't.
You were not good at
like,
all.
I just won. It was like legitimately cheating because I literally did not want to spend time writing an essay. Like, I just
It makes
didn't.
sense, yeah.
But I also didn't like reading. And I just didn't like writing. Like, I just really thought it was a waste of time. But now as an adult, I like reading.
Yeah.
I don't know about writing, but I like reading, you know. But but math has always been like my favorite subject. Like, I love it. Like, I just feel like, I mean, you have to be really good in those two subjects because you do use that on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like math, basic math.
Not in
at
like
least.
the calculus type of way.
No,
though.
not the
Not in the-
algebra.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm in. That's why I don't
Yeah.
see it as
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you're
yeah.
in
Yeah.
pre-cal, right? And all
Oh,
that stuff.
I'm in algebra 2. Like,
Yeah.
I just cannot.
No, yeah, I feel like I always did think that the whole figure out the perimeter, whatever, the radius and all this stuff, I'm just like, I'll do it because
Only if
I'm
you want
good
to be
with
an engineer
numbers.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
only if-
depends, like what
If
you
you're
want
gonna
to
apply
be.
it in your career.
Yeah, like you have to be really good in science
If
or
you're
biology.
a barber, you don't have to be good at anything.
just with
Just
your
choose to be
hands.
a barber.
You just gotta be good with your hands
creative.
and know how to deal with men.
Yeah, know how to deal with men.
So I guess going into that being like,
Have you dealt with a man?
Hey, chill out.
Are
No.
you dealing with a man?
No, I guess boyfriend wise, right?
Yeah. You had a boyfriend?
I like to say. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Like
I
a
like to say,
situation.
I had like a situationship before, and it was okay. Like, I guess we did like boyfriend girlfriend things, but we never really went out because of my part.
Yeah.
And then I was
You
like,
never wanted to, or you didn't have permission?
No, I had permission. My parents
Okay.
said, okay, desde los 17, you could date. And I'm like, okay. But they always said this. They said, only if you think God, like, that God has that boy chosen for you, right? So then I was like,
How did you discern
shoot.
that?
Honestly,
How do you or how did your parents teach you how to discern if someone was
like, for you,
godly sent for
yeah.
you? Yeah.
So honestly, that's always very hard because you see this boy, you're like, oh, I really want him. I'm like, maybe God has him for me because I
Yeah,
love him
está
so much.
guapo.
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, God always brings you peace.
yeah.
So whenever I would pray, I'll be like, God, like, honestly, and the way my prayers went is how I would know. I was like, because I'm the one that ended things, just to make sure. But I was just like, I would always pray. I was like, God, honestly, take this boy away from me because I don't want to be the one that says, oh no, I don't want to do this and then have to explain myself, right? And then I would never feel peace in my heart. Like, I would be with him and I'd be like, you know, I don't really, like, I like you, but I don't see myself in the future with you, if I'm being honest. So once I said that, we ended things. And honestly, I never really had, like, a real boyfriend yet.
Yeah.
I'm, like, waiting for that because I don't want to start something with people, like, these guys, and then for it not to go anywhere. Like,
Yeah, and I'm glad you're touching on that because I had that mentality. I had the mentality where actually not that I didn't want a boyfriend because I obviously did have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I always told myself I'm not going to date somebody from my high school. Yeah. Like I didn't want to because that's the 10, the 15. Let me add the 5 real quick. Okay. Or I can do another 10. I told myself I didn't want to date anybody from my school because I went to such a small high school. I went to East Early College by Magnolia. So it was such a small school, you know. It was one of the first schools in Houston that you graduated with your associate's degree, you know. Okay. It was like each class had 100 kids. So it was super tiny, you know, compared to Chavez and compared to the school that you go to.
Students that graduated.
Yeah. So then I was like, I'm not going to have a boyfriend. I didn't want to waste my time. But I also had a lot of things that I dealt with as a young person, you know, like at a person your age. Like, honestly, I feel like you have, I don't know, right? But like you give me peace. Right? Yeah. Or what do you feel? Yeah. Like, I don't feel like
super chill.
Yeah, I don't feel like
she doesn't have a lot of drama or weight on her.
Weight. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't feel like you have weight on your shoulders.
Like a load on you.
Or maybe you do, but I'm not feeling it, you know?
Okay.
But I feel comparing my age to you.
I handle it very well.
Yeah. Comparing my age to you, like when I was 18, I feel like I had a lot of weight on my shoulder. So I feel like I just couldn't focus on dealing with
That's
the
why
immature.
You had a lot of haters? Probably.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I for sure had a lot of haters. I just didn't want to deal with the childish kids or the rumors because I already had a lot of rumors without even doing anything, you know. So I was just like, you know, constantly hated on by girls that I didn't want to add a boy to be a reason. So you saying that you just didn't feel the peace with the guy, I'm just wondering like why? Because, you know, technically it's not, I don't want to say, it should be normal. Yeah. But it's really not.
Yeah.
Right?
What should be normal?
It should be normal for a girl to, like her, for a girl to be like, well, you're really not bringing me peace. Even though I find you attractive, I think I like you, but I just don't feel like you're the one.
I think she's talking like more spiritually.
No, I
feel like both, honestly.
But it should be normalized, but it's not, you know?
It's more so of like, you're cute, me caes bien, let's hit it off for that reason.
Definitely.
Never for the reason of like, you add on to me, or like you're persuading me to go to a right path, you know? It's really just
But I mean, in reality, like, who's thinking that? At such a young age, who's thinking that, like, at an 18-year-old heart, who's thinking, oh, are you really adding to me? Yeah. If you don't have the guidance from somebody, in her case, her parents are guiding her, you know, but like, if we don't have the guidance, how are we really going to get to that point as an 18-year-old, you know? But I mean, I give you props and claps to your parents.
Her parents.
Oh, yeah. See, for clap. You can't hear it, but you can hear clapping.
Yeah. I can hear it.
Yeah, she can hear it because it's crazy. Like, I mean, I figured you might have had a boyfriend, you know. So are you single now?
Definitely not. Yes.
Guys, she's 18, but she's still a kid.
Chill out. Chill out,
Yeah. So I guess it's like, so you're single now and you're a junior. So you still have a whole year left in high school,
so right? So you don't talk to the guy anymore at all?
So honestly, like, and honestly, no hate to the guy because it was all me. Like, we left on good terms. And I don't really talk to him at all. Like, we don't follow each other.
Do you think you left them, like, confused? Like
I would be confused.
Yeah. I would be. A lot of my friends said, oh, you let him on. And I'm just like, no. Like, we were never really, like, together, you know? And now, which is, again, it's okay. Like, it's all in the past. Like, we're cool. And we just, we don't really have any contact. No, nothing.
So, okay, now touching your friends. They said they were as your friends. Do you feel that y'all share like same type of parents or no compared to your parents?
I feel like yes, because, and I've always, like, my parents have always told me this because I always invite my friends over, like una carnita asada, like stuff like that, and they always tell me, Nicole, I love your friends. And I feel like because I guess I know how to choose my friends wisely. Like, I don't just hang out with just anybody. Like, if I see how you act, and honestly, all my friends, they at least come from like good morals. Like their parents, I can tell that their parents taught them well. They always say like please and thank you, like the basic stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And whenever they come, like my parents siempre les cae bien. Like my parents really like my friends.
Oh,
so
okay. So you feel like they do share like the same mannerisms and values as you do, right? Because if they're your friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm asking because it's just like, you know, how sometimes like you can be in high school and hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And then that one girl could be in your ear telling you like, well, why did you
working against your parents?
Yeah.
Yes.
Having you work against your parents.
Yeah. I've had like some people like that, but I wouldn't be sure if I would call them my friend. Like I have a lot of acquaintances like, oh yeah, they're my friend, I know them, like because I talk to many people, but like people that I keep close in my circle, like that I invite them to my house, you know, like I keep them close, and I know that they're good people. And like people, because I've had other acquaintances, I guess, that tell me like, hey, why don't you smoke? Like you never smoke, you never
Are you ever curious or no?
Honestly,
or one time, like once, like maybe like not now, but like once upon a time you were.
Yeah, I think I was kind of like, I mean, what makes, like, why are people addicted to this, right? So I've always wanted to be like, maybe when I'm older I'll try like just once, but like just to see how it is on my heart.
Yeah.
But honestly,
have you told your parents that you think about maybe as an adult and as a grown up that you might want to try it one time?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever told them that. I would want to tell them because I don't really like, I have that relationship.
I was gonna say I would think you would have the relationship con la confianza de decirles, you know.
Like even as a joke, because I'm always saying like dumb stuff and my parents, and they're just laughing. But I have talked to it with my cousin. We're like, bro, whenever we get older, like come on, we gotta at least do it once. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Hope maybe. I'll think about it.
That's so funny. I feel like.
So how did you deal with that temptation back then?
Or now?
Yeah.
Because it's now, right? For her.
Honestly, I don't really have like a need like, bro, I want to smoke, or like, and none of that. Like if I see people,
or you don't have somebody like constantly asking you.
I don't really have people constantly
asking me. But you see it a lot in your school.
I see it a lot. Like people in the restroom, like sometimes like 5 girls come out of the big stall and you just waiting to pee. You're like, bruh, like they just all come out, they're like sharing like their vape or whatever, and it's mostly like annoying. No, nobody tells, but like there's a lot of people that smoke like around the school.
But it's vapes. Not really weed. Normally
carts?
Weed. Yeah, carts. And yeah.
Wait, what is that?
Carts is like the things that have weed inside of them.
Oh, okay. Dang, I feel a little old for a second. Yeah. It's like, what is that?
The new technology?
I know, right? Like, is this a new drug or what? Okay, so then you don't have your friends. Obviously, they sound like good friends. So you don't have that one girl in your ear telling you, you need to do it, try it.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like I'm very strong in that because I'm like, who is this person trying to tell me to do something like, and especially if I don't want to end up like them.
So you're not, you can't get peer pressured, or you can, but you're very like, like it's hard especially for you to get peer pressured.
That stuff. I'm like, I mean, in a couple of years, like imagine you still like smoking and doing all that stuff. Yeah. Like I don't want to really end up like that. So honestly, I never really get peer pressured by people around me that just be like, hey, you want to hit? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know?
Yeah. So what kind of personality do you have when you're in school? Like, are you different from where you're at home? Because I know there's a lot of kids who are totally different from
I've
home.
Seen that.
And then whenever they go to school around their friends, do you think that you're kind of like the same person? Or you a little bit, you tone it down when you're at home?
Yeah, I think I'm the same person. I give out like the same energy. Yeah. Just in my house, I do tone it down a little bit because like with my friends, you know, everybody, whenever you're with your friends, like y'all say like, you know how you are like together and you're loud and stuff. Like you make certain jokes that you wouldn't do in front of your parents. Yeah. But yeah, I think I have.
Why are we like that, right? Yeah. Why is it like that? Why? Because I feel like, well, me personally, I feel like
yo no digo groserías en frente de mi mom, you know.
Oh, I guess it's just the relationship you guys have, right? Because I feel like I be saying crazy stuff like in front of my mom. But again, it's the relationship. You know? I mean, I did grow up. I don't think I would.
And like, it doesn't mean that you're disrespecting her.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. It's just that we have a really, really open relationship, you know. But I also feel like even in high school, I would have my friends come over. My mom was so strict, like so strict that I could never go out. I could never like go to parties. So if I wanted to hang out with my friends, they would have to come to my house. So my house was the spot for them to come and hang out, because they knew that my mom was so strict that she wasn't going to let me go, you know? And it's crazy because I don't know how your parents are with you, right? But I feel like as a mom now, I feel like I want to build the relationship with Milo where I can give him the trust where he could tell me and I can be like, okay, even though it's going to be super hard for me to let him go. Like, okay, go, you know? Because with Roland, his parents will let him go all the time. Like, but he was such a good guy, you know? He was such a good student, always had good grades, super respectful. So I feel like that's why, you know? But with me, I had good grades. I mean, I had haters, right?
But you kind of slipped up here and there.
Me?
Yeah, here and there you slipped up a couple times.
So now you know my history?
You talk about it all the time.
I mean, I might have slipped up, but it was like... But I feel like it was also led because my mom was so strict. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if my mom hadn't been...
If she gave you a little bit of freedom?
It sounds crazy. It does. But I feel like if my mom hadn't had me so like... But also my mom was super strict with me because my sister did get pregnant at a young age.
Okay.
Which I understand right now. I look back and I'm like, oh, okay. I see why you were super strict with me, but it wasn't my fault. Now I did whatever I did.
Like the consequences were for you too.
The consequences were for me, you know, when in reality it's just like, yo no hice nada, you know. But because of those consequences, I slipped up a few times, you know. I did try drugs at a young age, right? And it's crazy because the drugs were given to me by a cousin. Yeah, it was a cousin, which is like, what a bad influence, right? Yeah. But yeah, it was by a cousin, like, and like I never became addicted. I was never like, oh my God, I need to do it. Yeah. But if I was around it and it was my cousin telling me, it was my number one rule. Like, if I'm in a place where I know I'm gonna like, I can sleep at. Yeah. Then okay, I'll do it.
But if you go home, you're like, I'm not doing it if I have to go back home.
Oh no, like I did it at my mom's house like a few times, which shame on me, right? Yeah. But again, my mom was like never really home. You know, like she was never home. So either I was with a babysitter or, you know, somebody watching us or whatever. And I mean, I'm a high school girl working, just figuring life out, having my own problems with her it was a really rough relationship, you know? So I feel like you hearing that, like, do you think to yourself, like, dang, like, or I don't know, your friends maybe, like, do you feel like you have friends that have problems with their parents and then you see them do something crazy? And then do you think anything of it, like...
Honestly, because there's like a saying like strict parents create like sneaky children.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've heard like a lot. And sometimes I feel like I understand their parents, but I mainly understand, well, my friend, because we're friends. But
do you agree with your friend?
Honestly, I always try to lead my friend like, okay, well, why are you doing this? Like, what's like the main reason? And then like sometimes like, honestly, like if I have a say in it, I will say something. But if it's like nothing to do with me, like I'm not, who am I to say something about them if I don't know like what they're going through at home or like their relationship like with their parents.
But if she's telling you, what are you gonna tell her?
I'd be like if she tells me what?
Okay, for example, like me, if I was your friend, right, and then I was like, oh my God, my mom, like, she's not, like, she's being a bee and she's making me clean the house and she's not making my own... It sounds crazy, right? But in reality, this is things that you go through, right? Yeah. It's just like my mom, she's being mean to me and she's making me clean the house and she's still not letting me go out, even though I've been cleaning the house. And my older sister's just there doing nothing. Like, what would you tell me? Like, if I'm like, I think I'm going to sneak out and I'm going to go to the party.
That one's kind of hard because I feel like...
She's like... Okay, your mom can call me and I'll tell her that you came to my house.
All sneaky.
I got you, girl.
I feel like I don't know, because I feel like I would be on like the friend side. I'm like, bro, like, honestly, you're a teenager. Like, you only live once at this point.
Yo.
Yeah. Like, if, like, para vivir la vida, you're going to have to make some mistakes. But don't go crazy either. Like, don't go doing something that's gonna end up ruining your life.
Oh, exactly.
Like, there's like a limit.
I was gonna say, you do live your life once, right?
Yeah.
But don't do nothing crazy that will, because honestly, like I look back and I'm just like, I'm so blessed that I was always like, that's you, girl. That's you.
I just think everybody has a crazy experience in high school.
No, my crazy experience
that if you made it through high school, you're alive, you're good, you're well. You know, like, oh, you didn't die either, me either. You know?
Well, let's go on a quick break, guys. We'll be back. So we were talking about, before we went on break, how
how like if I survived, everybody should have survived too. You know?
yeah, no, tell her what you mean by that. She means,
please, I want to know.
She means literal survival. Like, for me, surviving was just having a really rough relationship with my mom and just bad influences all over the place. Getting kicked out of high school. Like, you know, fights, right? That was my survival. Her survival was
I actually had to like hold people at like in the knife, you know, like I had to, before my life was like gonna be taken away from me, I was like, no, yours is going first, you know? No. Yeah, that was just in high school. Goodness. I was doing like a lot of bad stuff, like just dealing with like gang members.
Tell her about the whole drug thing though.
Yeah, and selling drugs, doing drugs, overdosing. Yeah,
so she was like an actual like drug addict. Yeah, so whenever you said the whole like, why are people, I was gonna ask you like, how did you even get into the drugs?
How are you so dumb? That's what we want to know. How did I get into it?
Yeah, because she was like an actual drug addict. Like ella estaba adicta a que a weed, no?
No, not really, because I would smoke weed like very regularly, but it was more like bars. I used to do a lot of bars. I want to say that it was really just curiosity. Like I remember the first time I did it, we were in a 15 practice. I was 14 years old, como 13, 14 years old. And we were like in a 15 practice. And I remember that I used to work at the flea market, right? And I remember that I was selling drugs for another man, like older man. And I had taken a little bit of pills that I was supposed to sell. I took them with me, right? I kind of like bought them from him. And we were in a 15 practice, and there was like a little gangster guy who was like my dance partner. And I told him like, I have bars. I had never tried them though before. And he's like, oh, you got bars? Like, oh, I've tried them before. Like, let's take one. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to take half, because I was like scared, right? Because it's like the ones that have like little lines, the white ones. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take half. So by taking half, like, it didn't really hit, but it felt good, you know? And I was like, all right, next time I do it, I'm going to do the whole bar. And I was hooked from there. Yeah. And I was like completely hooked for like till I was like 5 years later, I was able to stop doing them. Yeah, but it was really hard. Like, it was like the hardest battle I had to go through, because I started getting really close to God when I was in my senior year, when I was 18. And I remember I would go to church and pray and blah blah blah, but I would go so barred out. It was like a big battle where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but God, I'm still here in church, so help me out, you know, help me seek through, you know. But yeah, I survived.
And she had like overdose like what, twice?
Oh my God.
Yeah, because of like that, you know.
Yeah, because of doing drugs. And actually it goes back to my parents. Like, I was trying to gain my parents' trust back. And I remember one time I had bars, and I probably have a little bit of coke and I don't know, weed, like in a drawer. And what drugs does, like whenever you're coming out of them, it gives you anxiety. Yeah. So in my head, I wasn't on drugs anymore, but in my head, I don't know why, I knew my mom was gonna go through my stuff that day. I don't know, I was just being paranoid, and I was like, she's gonna go through it, and it wouldn't leave my head. So, and I didn't want to throw my drugs away. Yeah. Because it was a little bit that I still had left, so I just ate them all. Like, everything I had, I ate it. And I left to work, girl.
To work?
Yeah, I left to work.
She started barbering when she was young.
I was 14 when I started being a barber. So when I was in work, I started feeling like I couldn't breathe. And I was so short in breath, and everything was spinning around. And I was like, okay, like, you need to calm down, you're fine. You know, like, I literally, like, hit the floor. I went to the restroom first and I washed my face and I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, you got this, Alondra. Like, keep it together. You're good. Nothing's going to happen to you. And I'm walking out of the restroom, boom, I fall on the floor. And I forget what happens. Yeah.
Oh my God. And how did you come out of it? Like, what were the steps, I guess, that you took?
What do you mean? Come out of like my whole addiction?
Yeah.
The addiction.
Yeah, like to leave
Just
it.
God.
Really?
Just never letting God go.
Yeah. That's good.
But also like, because you did have like your family, right, to back you up and be there. And
yeah, they didn't really like believe that I was like deep in drugs because it's embarrassing. I'm not gonna be like, I'm an addict. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like I have a problem. But they knew I did drugs. My mom once, I feel like my mom's prayers really helped a lot. Because one time she had came in my room and she just asked me randomly. She's like, just tell me yes or no. And she's like, do you do drugs? And I was like, yeah, I do drugs. And she just walked out of my room.
Has your mom ever asked you if you've done drugs?
Honestly, yes, because there has been people in our family especially que se metieron en eso, right? So she's like, Nicole, like, you could tell me if you did drugs, like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, like, I didn't do nothing.
But why would she suspect that of you?
Honestly.
She said some people in her family.
Yeah, and, like, she didn't know if maybe they had offered me.
Okay.
And stuff like that, yeah. But honestly, I never, no.
When my mom asked me, this is how rough our relationship was, right? When my mom asked me, one of my god sisters was living with us, like just randomly, right? I don't know. She was my age and she was randomly living with us, dating an older man, and she's my age.
Yeah.
And we were 15 at the time.
That's crazy.
And my mom had no idea that she was dating somebody older, right? But let me just, to paint the picture of how rough my relationship with my mom was, she called me and my god sister into the room. And at this, I've only, like, I was a virgin till, like, I was 18, right? And the person I lost it to was to Roland. And that's the only person I've ever been with. And so I remember at the time, Roland didn't even exist. Like, I didn't even, like, nada que ver. Like, he wasn't even in, like, I didn't even know anything about him. So I was still a virgin, right? But I did have boyfriends.
Yeah.
And so I remember my mom called us into her room and she was like, I have to ask y'all 2 questions, right? And I'm just like, okay. And then she was like, have y'all had sex? And my sister, my god sister, she said yes. And we were 15. I'm sure this is normal, right?
Yeah.
But to me, it was like, hell no.
Yeah,
I was like,
no way.
I was like, no, like, I'm a virgin, But my mom knew that I had, like,
incidents, like, with little boyfriends.
The boyfriends, right? No, not even incidents. She knew.
Oh, she hadn't caught you that you.
No, she hadn't caught me.
Okay.
Yeah, she hadn't caught me. But like, and by caught me means like I snuck a guy in, a boy, right? But it was to break up with him. I snuck the guy into my house twice. One, it was just pure stupidity, and the second time, the same guy to break up with him. But not once, even the first time that I snuck him in.
Yeah.
Yo siempre me cuidé que
not to be touching you,
not to be touching me. I was always I was so paranoid that I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get pregnant. Like, if you touch me, I'll be pregnant. Yeah. So then, so yo siempre me cuidaba, you know, and it shouldn't be, because I always really thought like, man, I'm gonna let this boy touch me and then he's gonna go brag about it. Like, I'm not gonna be the girl that they brag about. That was my mentality, right? But anyways, so at the time when my mom asked us, I was like, oh no, like, I'm still a virgin, thinking it was a proud moment, right? And then she's like, have y'all done drugs? And then my god sister said, no, I've never touched any drugs. And then I said, well, I have. I've done weed, right? And guess who was the bad one in the whole picture? Me.
What?
I was the bad, kid, because I was the one who had done the drugs, but she had sex.
Yeah.
Like, just to paint the picture,
I wonder what was your mom's thought process. Was she saying like, well, sex is kind of normal, drugs, you're overdoing it?
Well, no, yeah,
I wonder what she thought.
My mom says she's never done
weed.
She just doesn't understand, like, why would you even have to try it? And then you're so young, But to me, it was like, I literally, I was never addicted to it. Like, I could just, don't want it, I don't want it, you know? I was never easily, like, I don't want to say I was peer pressured, because I wasn't, it was a choice that I decided, like, I'm going to do it. I want to do it, not because my cousin was like, let's try it. I'm gonna do it. Do you want to? Nah, I was just.
You're curious and you did it.
Yeah, she was doing it, and I'm like, let me try it, like that, you know. Yeah. But so I give you props for not being peer pressured, because it's good not to be peer pressured when you're in high school, because there's so many kids around you, so many personalities that are doing so many things, and they're trying all these things, that for you to just be able to say no and still be in high school and feel judged or be looked at a certain way, you know, I can only imagine, like, because I mean we've been through it, right? Yeah. But I was not addicted to the drugs, así como how she had to deal with that, you know. Mine was just for fun, funsies. Let me just.
No, I have a very addictive personality.
But she does have an addictive personality.
That's why I'm very like strict now in my life. Like, I don't watch TV.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Like, I don't watch.
Yeah, she don't watch TV.
I will be addicted.
Like, not even like.
She don't watch shows.
What?
Yeah,
I know.
Like I don't have any social media.
I just watch everything. Yeah.
I barely got her to start reading fictional books.
Yeah, and I'm kind of done with it, because like I wasted so much time, you know. Yeah. My high school years. Start crying. I wasted so much time, even like my middle school years. I feel like even I became delayed mentally. Like, there was things that como retrasada, you know, like
mensa?
Yeah, in a way, like, I became delayed. Like, there's times that I stay on topic, and out of nowhere, I'm just like over the topic, and I move on to something else. You know what I mean?
Like you get bored fast, or
exactly. What? Like, I feel delayed. Like, I cannot entertain a subject for too long. That doesn't bring anything to me. You know what I mean? So,
okay. I get what she's saying. What she's basically saying is, like, she doesn't want to waste her time. Yeah. Like, if you're not going to bring her anything in return, like...
Yeah. Like, if we're not going to be talking real talk, we're just going to be talking BS, I'm over it. Let's talk about something else.
Over chisme stuff. Like,
like that. I agree with you, honestly, because I really like your mentality over that, because también, like... I love movies, I love TV shows, but I have felt felt that, like, as I'm watching, I'm like, man, I could be doing like so many things in the duration of that 1 hour, instead of just like sitting down and watching this.
Right. Yeah. So when Eva asks me, like, so what do you do? Like, if you ain't watching TV, what are you doing? And I'm like, dang, what do I do? Like, what do I do?
Shit.
What do I really do? But it's really like, I cook, like,
But see, like,
once you enter to my place, it's spotless clean, like, all the time. I kid you not.
Sorry, mine isn't.
I'm low-key like, well, me and my husband, we're low-key like, that's what brings us joy and peace, and to like have every dish like that you use, you wash it as you use them. You know what I mean? Like, that brings us joy, that brings us peace. We just haven't found something that entertainful to do, right?
Yeah.
We're just like...
But don't let that, like, get to your head, though, because you're so, like, young, you know, like...
And you haven't screwed up as much as I have.
No, that's the reason why she thinks like that, because, you know, she was, like, an addict for, you know...
couple years.
For a couple years at such a young age. Basically, at your age, she was an addict. Or she was barely, like, realizing, okay, I'm addicted to this. Let me try to seek God and try to get out of it, right? Which is hard, again, because it's
not only that, because you don't only lose yourself, you lose your parents, you lose your sisters, trust, you lose everybody who viewed you as mija, you know, que le echa ganas, que
innocent,
que te echa flores, blah blah blah. They kind of leave you. They're like, no, not really leave you, because they're still gonna be like taking care of you and telling you, like, hey, wake up, like, I need you to wake up.
But not even because they're pushing you. It's just like, now you're your parent, so you really just got to do it because that's your daughter.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I would hear my parents talk really ugly about me to my sisters, you know, like, I heard my mom once say, like, she's the worst daughter. Like, my mom telling my older sister, like, I just don't know what to do with her. She's the worst daughter a mother can have. Yeah. So it was those things, those conversations that you'd be like, damn, bro, I really suck. You know, like, I really suck. Like, I'm really... And so you don't just lose yourself. You lose everybody.
Yeah, and no child should ever, like, hear that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
But also think about it,
you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's
you do
true,
it to yourself.
too.
Because even though you're a kid, you know... Milo right now can tell you right from wrong.
Yeah.
So what makes you think if it's a 5.5-year-old and can't can tell you and not an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
You should know right from wrong.
Especially like the way your parents raised you.
Yeah,
that time. Yeah.
that, and not even that. Like sometimes you just, you know, antes I never really wanted to believe in the, oh snap, my timer stopped.
I have 5 minutes left.
Okay. You see, I think oh, there you go. I always never used to agree with the saying, show me who your friends are,
and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah. I never used to think that was true. Like, I used to think, like, I can hang out with a girl that sleeps with guys, but that doesn't mean I'm like that, you know? But now that I'm older, I do think you surround yourself with people that you want to, like, basically, I'm surrounding myself with people that I know that want nothing but the best for me.
Yeah.
And people that I want for themselves.
Yeah.
And I want the best for them. But I'm not going to hang. If I didn't see her be a go-getter, I would have never asked her to be my co-host. Yeah. You know, because she's a barber, even though she don't watch TV. I'm just like,
you're whack, right? She's not going to disqualify me.
I was like, she's not going to be able to have conversations with me that I could probably have with you, you know, an 18-year-old about a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
but I still think that she can bring so much more other stuff to my life, you know, like she was saying that she focuses on what you can bring to her and what you vice versa, you know? So I'm assuming, like, as an 18-year-old, do you ever think like that with your friends? Do you think, like, right now, I'm going to ask you a question, and you tell me if you can automatically think of somebody. Okay. Do you feel like you have a friend that's just wasting your time as a friend? That you're giving her more than what she's giving you in return?
Yeah. I think, because I'm very, like, I don't want to sound, like, rude, but, like, whatever, like, I always read the room. Like, whatever you're giving me, okay, I'll give you back. But also, también, I must still treat you with respect no matter what. Like, if you go low, I'm never gonna go as low as you. But, I think there has been a friend that has done that to me, but I've never really, like no le doy bola. Yeah, like, I'm just like, okay, well, if you're gonna be like that, then you're not really my friend. Like, I'm fine. I'm better without you. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and I can only imagine, like, the drama, right? There's a bunch of drama with, like, the friend group and stuff like that. How many is there, like, in your group of friends?
I'm about to, like, count, because we have, like, a group chat and there's, like, a bunch of us.
Well, you just had a Galentine, no?
Yeah, I had that, but that was just the girls. That's, like, half, I think, 8 girls, including me. 8 girls, yeah.
And there's more to that.
Yeah, it's like
more guys.
Yeah, 8. Oh, okay. I think 8 guys, 7 guys, and 8 girls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a big group.
Yeah, we try to do, like, things together because we always find it fun that when we all hang out. So
yeah. And you bring your little sister along?
Yeah, I always like to make her feel included because she loves my friends, and my friends, they like her too. And I feel as if, like, sometimes she doesn't know how to choose the right friends, and then whenever she sees me, like, with my friends, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, come with me. Like,
you're kind of, like, setting the example for her of what healthy relationships are. Yeah.
And I'm glad you're doing that, you know, because I don't know if my sister watches or not, right? But my sister really never did that.
She never did what?
That, like,
take you with her.
Yeah, if anything.
What was she hanging out with?
She was good people. Yeah, like it was her best friend ended up becoming my best friend because when my mom would be working.
Rose.
Huh?
Is it Rose?
No, Rose is my age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it was another friend before, like, middle school time, right? And I remember that my sister moved out, you know, with her ex or whatever. And so my mom would pay her best friend to take care of me and my siblings. Yeah. And me and her became really close. So she became, like, my best friend, like an older sister, basically. And it was a problem between me and my sister. My sister would get so upset.
That her friend wanted to hang out with you.
Yeah. Like, it was a problem.
Jealous?
Yeah. It was a problem, you know? So then we kind of, like, I distanced myself. Yeah. Even to this day, like she'll reach out and I just keep my distance because I'm like, I never want my sister to feel like I'm taking her friends away, you know? But as my older cousin, Erica, she would bring me along. And so that's when I knew I surrounded myself with older people. Yeah. And I didn't want the immature kids, the immature boys my age, because I was so surrounded by, like, high schoolers when I was in middle school. And it just taught me to see things the way they would see them. Because even though like they're in high school and they're immature themselves, you're learning more from them than from your group of friends. So it's really good that you do that with your sister because you never know if that is the step that she needs in her life just to make the right decision.
Yeah, and she always like she even tells me, she's like, I love your friends, but just know like I would never like how do I say this? Like she won't cross the line to be like, oh yeah, they're my group of friends, like, you know.
Is she in the group chat?
Yeah, she's in the group chat because whenever we make plans, like, okay, you're bringing this, you're bringing that, you're bringing this, but yeah, she would never like be like, she knows that they're my friends and that she comes and that they're cool, but they's mostly my friends. That's what she like has.
She respects that.
Yeah,
she respects the boundary basically.
But she has her own group of friends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she mostly hangs out with us though because I guess since we're older we can actually
go out.
And make the plans and make them come through and stuff.
Yeah. And what about like your mom? Did she ever, or your dad, did they tell you have to take your little sister?
There has been some times because I'm like sorry.
No, you're fine. Well, you can finish that.
Okay, I'm like, I always I'm like, I always take her, like, maybe this time, like, just like
me by myself.
Yeah, me by myself. Like, it honestly didn't bother me. I would mostly act like that whenever she pissed me off or like she just did something that made me mad. I'm like, I don't even want to, you know what, you're not coming with me.
Yeah.
But my mom has made me, like, in those times, she'll be like, no, you're taking your sister. I'm like, okay. And then after it passes, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. Like, I'll just take her.
Yeah.
It was fine, yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's go on a quick break and we'll be back. And we are back. So, off camera, I was asking you that if you had like a business going on like right now or no.
No, not really, but I've been having like this idea of trying to make, I guess, like Christian merch in a way. And I've just been going like on Canva. Like my friend was even helping me out. She was like, no, change the background color. Like, and like, okay, if a girl would wear this, make it like a pastel pink. And then like we were just trying, like just playing around with it and seeing where it goes really. But it is something I want to go for. Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, you should. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was my stomach.
You're hungry?
You heard it too?
No, but I
heard
was thinking that's what a stomach usually makes.
Oh my God. That's terrible. I'm not even hungry.
It's digesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get digestive system. No, I think you should definitely go for it if you want. Like after, later on this week or maybe next week, we could sit down and talk about it. And I can give you like tips on where you can get like your hoodies or shirts for a good price. I actually had told your mom.
She mentioned it to me and I was like, when is it gonna happen? I was like,
yeah, I actually had told your mom because I have the Cricut to do the vinyl cutting. I had told her a long time ago, I'm like, I can teach Nicole and she could do something. But the reason I'm asking you is because March 15th, we're going to have a kids event. It's a market. And basically my boss is not charging like the kids to set up and sell whatever they want.
Okay.
So I just think that would be like a great opportunity. That's the week of spring break. Yeah. Milo's going to be there. He's going to be selling. He does the Mexican candies.
My God, those are so good.
So he's going to be selling there. So if you guys have any kids, just throwing it out there and they have like a little business or any craft or arts or whatever that they like to do, let me know and then we could set something up or whatever. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. So what brought this idea to mind of merch and stuff?
So honestly, I've seen like a lot of like videos on TikTok and then they're just like I don't know, they're just like walking and stuff, and then in behind I've seen mostly where they have the graphic and it has like a cross or something, and I thought that was like cool, like because I love wearing stuff like that, and like whenever I go like to places like events like Zona Radical, like stuff like that, where I go and I'm like I always see people wearing like
Christian merch.
Didn't you buy from somebody too?
Yeah, I do have a lot of Christian merch.
Yeah. Like what?
Like Kike my husband always wears this shirt that I got him, and I'm like, yeah, está bien deslavada, dude. Yeah, like kind of like it's not even black anymore. You can't really see the design, but it's Jesus. Yeah, but it's like the face of Jesus with the I don't know how to describe it. I bought it for him, and then I bought him like another really nice sweater that said Dios primero.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly I just didn't want, like, what was going through my head, like, I didn't want it to be, like, cheesy and corny. Because I've seen, like, those shirts on, like anywhere, like Walmart, Amazon, be like, put God first, Jesus' daughter. And I'm like, that, like, I would never
corny.
wear that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, like, bring something for teens.
So, yeah, for sure. I feel like, I think you're on the right path. You know, just the fact that you're even brainstorming. I feel like it's one of those things where you want to sell what you would wear.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best thing to even... that's
Make,
the way
create.
that's the best way to go into business.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell something that you believe in and something that you would wear if it's a brand. You know, have you thought about names or anything like that?
So I was actually sitting in English class, and I was just like, because I was like, oh, also, like, I was brainstorming because I saw what is it called? It says Fear of God, Essentials. I saw Essentials hoodies, and I'm like, Essentials, like, everyone wears it at school, and it says both Fear of God in the back. And again, I don't know if it's like a Christian thing, but like, it's a nice hoodie. And then so I was like, Essentials is a really good name. Like, what name should I do? And I was like, I had like someone on like a Google Doc, and one of them was like Anointed, and then another one was like, I just didn't know. Like, I had like a bunch, and they're not really at the top of my head right now.
No, I feel like it'll come to you. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned Essential because, like, me and Roland, I'm gonna throw this out there because I don't want nobody taking
your name. Yeah.
Yeah. So Roland, we love the word Essential too, right? But we know that there's a brand that se llama Essential, right? So then, he has Essential Rugs. You know, and then he changed it to Essen Rugs, right? Because his big page got taken down, and he had like, no, se la quitaron, Instagram, because of the copyright stuff, and he had like 16K followers on that one, and they took the page down. Like, it was just a whole thing, like a whole thing.
Yeah, he became depressed.
Yeah, he got depressed for like a week.
Yeah. He was depressed for a while.
Yeah. So point is, I remember that I had told him, I was like, I don't even know how, but the name like Essen, Essen, I was like, I really like that name if we ever have a daughter.
Essen.
That's
you know?
a pretty name, yeah.
And then he was like, oh yeah, so we added it to our list. So nobody used that name.
Yeah. You cannot name your daughter Essen.
No, okay. But I think, you know, the name at first, I feel like it's just one of those things like with AI Mas, I literally, it wasn't even going to be a brand. It was just going to be a thing where girls could wear cool stuff that I wanted to wear. And everything was going to be done by me. And everything was done by me. Until my last shirt is the first shirt that I got, that I handed to somebody to do the job. And I just took care of the shipping, right? But before that, I used to do everything with the cutting, the vinyl, like embroidery, like everything that you can think of, I did. And I burnt myself out, you know? Yeah. But I feel like I enjoyed it so much. I would do the pictures, right? Yeah. Yo hacía las fotos, girl. Like, yo agarraba.
Garage.
Really? Roland built like a wall for me, and then I would bring the girls over and be like, all right, this day, the whole day, I'm going to do a photo shoot. And I would take the pictures myself. I would edit the pictures. So my point is like, if you really want it, you're going to make it happen. Yeah. Regardless of what it is. And knowing your parents, I'm sure they're going to support you, you know. But the name is one of the things that I would like definitely sleep on. And if there's a name, no matter if anybody tells you anything, you stick to that name. Yeah. Because like Ella y Más, I wanted to stay away from something corny, right? Yeah. And I told Roland, what about, because we already had this and much more, right? And then I was like, what about Ella y Más? You know? He's like, that sounds, it's like kind of long. It sounds weird. And I'm like, no, I like it. I'm going to go with Ella y Más, you know? And then it just became a thing. So now everybody's like, Ella y Más, you know?
And you love it.
And I love it.
I mean, it grew on Roland.
Oh, yeah. No,
it grew on him.
For him, I just had to say it with confidence, and he believed in the name. Like, it was not even like, it was the same day. I was like, no, I like it. Ella y Más. Like, Ella y Más.
And he said that again?
Yeah,
all right, that's what it is.
And you know what? That's what happened with Milo's name, too. I was like, I love Milo. Like, I love the name, you know? And then he's like, we didn't want the Milo. So we're like, no, we just got to teach him that he got to correct people that it's Milo. And he does, you know? Yeah. So now it's just, it's like you make this, it's like at the end of the day, you're branding something that's yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no matter if your friends like, I don't
it's
like
corny,
that
or like if they say,
as you've like it, you're gonna brand it, and then you're gonna make it yours. You're gonna own that name like nothing. Like literally, like for me, it's just like EYM, EYM Club. Like it just became a thing, you know. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what you have like in mind or whatever. But we definitely should sit down, you know, aside from the podcast, and go over some ideas. But you had a question for us, right?
Yeah. First, before we get into that, I just wanted to tell you that something that I really like admire of you is that you I used this word my mom and she corrected me, but I was like that you have like initiative. I think that's the word. But like to do these things, you know, like you said, I feel like you put something out there and you go for it. And me, like I've been around people that be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and like, what? You're not doing nothing about it, like to actually do it and accomplish it. And I feel like you've like, because you have like all these different things, like you and your husband, honestly, y'all have like all these mini brands, like Entre Nos, like posted, y'all have all these things, and it's because like y'all went for it, and I love that.
No, yeah, thank you. But touching on that, I am gonna say that one thing like that social media does help is if you put it out there one time, you never know who's watching.
They're expecting
it. Like it's crazy. Like when with her she was one of the persons that if I announced that I was gonna drop something, she would be like, well, when?
I was like, where is it at?
So I would
accountability.
So it was like you never know who really is watching. I bet you anything if you post just a post with a brown color or a pink
and you put coming soon, they're gonna say
literally if you post if whatever your color brand is, if it's a pastel pink, if you put that just a square pink and then just put coming soon, I bet you anything people are gonna be like, well, what's coming? What's going on? When? What's the drop date? What are you dropping? What are you selling? Like, I bet you anything. Like,
hey, catch me doing that.
Y eso te va a dar ánimo. Like, oh, I really gotta come because people are interested.
No, and even if it's only 5 likes, it doesn't even matter because you only need one sale at the end of the day. Like, you only need one sale. Like, and one of the things too that I guess is good that, you know, you're in high school because somehow, I don't know how the heck the kids in high school somehow have money. Like, you know, my friends were broke, you know? So like now I see that like
y'all got money.
High school kids will be buying stuff, you know, and I'm just like, how the hell are you wearing an essential hoodie right now? Like, explain to me. You know, I've been going to the thrift, like, you know, that's what I go by. But yeah, I just think that, again, thank you, you know, and I also think that like you even having the, you know, brainstorming and call them that. The thoughts that you have with your friends, name them like, we're brainstorming right now, or we're going to have a meeting and talk about my business. Okay. Make it like that. Name it like that. So like me and Roland, we're literally going to have a meeting at our table after this podcast. Because if we don't call it a meeting, we're not going to ever meet and sit down and talk about what we have going on and what our plans are. Even if it's to talk about a trip. We're going to meet. We're not gonna
because it's intentional. You're not gonna like start talking about way different things like como le fue a Milo. No, that's like a family meeting. We're talking about a trip.
And then
meeting.
sometimes we do sit down, and as a husband and wife, we'll sit down, and sometimes I'll come with my list of things that I want to touch on, you know, business wise or family wise, or, you know, I have this coming up, just so you know, and just tell him, like, you know, pero we call them meetings, like, we're just like, we're gonna have a meeting, or sometimes we'll sit in here and we'll brainstorm, or like even our own podcast, like when it's just me and him. If you watch a few of just where it's me and him, you'll see us like coming up with ideas as we're recording, just having a conversation, you know. Like, I just think that it's important, you know. Sometimes I think somebody told me like you have to give it that name to give it that much more importance, you know. So and then you said you had the question, right? Okay,
sorry about that. I just wanted to know that me as a high school student, like, I know I want to do business, but I don't really know like what, and I'm like I get confused along the way, and I always ask my friends, hey, what do you want to be? They're like, I don't know. And I just want to know like if y'all knew like during high school oh, well, I want to be this, or I want to go through this, or if you thought like, oh, I want to do this, and then you changed your mind like completely and went another direction. I just want to know.
No, that happened to me, because when I was coming out of middle school, I was already a barber. So 14 years old, I was a barber. So all my high school I was a barber, but I knew that I didn't want to stay being a barber.
Yeah.
Not only because it's not that I didn't like it, it was because it was not really approved by my parents, and like I was trying to get their approval, you know, because I was kind of bad. So I was like, well, I want to like
terrible.
No, it was okay. It was, but I wanted to like make them proud, right? So I started going to nursing school, even though they were like, oh, like you don't have to do all that, right? My parents were never big. Well, they were big on education, but not like huge. They didn't ask for me to go to college, but I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I can make up some points if I become a nurse, right?
Which you were doing it for them, not for yourself.
Yeah, but in a way for me too, porque I was like, si me quería, like I did want it to have like that experience of going to school, because I sucked in school all high school, right? So I wanted to like regain my knowledge and go back to being a student. And so I was in nursing school, and then I met my husband, and I told him, dude, like I don't want to do school anymore. It was like maybe my third year in college, and I was like, dude, I'm over it. Like I want to just be a barber. And he's like, okay. I had never dropped a class, right, in my life from college. I'd never dropped a class. I'd never failed a class. And so I was a really good student in college. I was just not over it. I didn't want to be a nurse. I wanted to stay a barber. So my husband was like, okay, well, give me your laptop. I was getting ready to take a test the next day. So I was studying, and he's like, give me your laptop. And he dropped me from all my classes.
Wow.
Right there and then. Yeah. He's like, what's the plan? What are you going to do to become the best barber in Houston?
Just dropped you. What are you doing next?
Yeah, literally, like, what's the plan? Like, and so I went hard in barbering, you know, to the point that I make like $75 an hour now. Like,
that's really good.
I make more than a nurse.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Did I know when I was in high school that this was the way my life was going to play out? No. And honestly, you're never going to be prepared for like how your life is going to be played out. Like right now, I don't even know how like 5 years from now is going to look. If I'm going to have children, can I have children? Can I not? You know, so in a way, you do want to have a plan A, but you don't always want to say that's exactly how it's going to go. You know what I mean? You have to be able to say, I'm open to whatever falls in my lap. Like, be open to, like, whatever opportunity comes your way. Or whatever your own creativity wants to do. Like, what you long for at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
And then touching on that, the whole having your plan A, because I was big on that. Like, in high school, like, I was like, again, I didn't want to date somebody from my high school. And I dated Roland literally, like... I became friends with him over the summer, you know, and then we started dating that fall semester, right? And I still didn't think I was gonna end up with him. Like, I didn't think I was not taking him serious, you know, and because it was just one of those like I don't have time for this, you know, but I like you, you know, like I see like you, you know, I'm like, but I like you, you know, and what attracted me was that even as friends, I was like, well, I've never had sex with nobody, and I'm not planning on having sex with you either. So, you know, like it was like I was so straightforward with what I wanted, because I would always tell myself, again, my mom being so strict, my sister getting pregnant at a young age, me coming from a divorced family, like I was like, I definitely don't want any of that. You know, I do want to have a career. I didn't want to, one of my biggest goals in life was to not get pregnant. Yeah. Like
before marriage.
Like I did not want that. I wanted to have the traditional like lifestyle. I wanted to be able to have a boyfriend, get proposed to, get married, get a house, get pregnant. Like, you know, I wanted that. And my mom did root me, like she cheered me, you know, for that. Like she would like, yeah, do it or whatever. And I used to have, when I was, you know, young, I had the opportunity to live with Roland as a boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. And I didn't want to, because I knew mentally that
plan A.
My plan was, if I move in with him as a girlfriend, it's end game for me. Like, you know, he might propose, but I'm already going to be giving him the wife duties, like, you know, and I didn't want that. Like, that's you know, in my mind, that's what I wanted. Yeah. But career-wise, I was open to the idea of any sort of business because I had multiple jobs. I started working when I was 15. Yeah. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted. In the back of my mind, I loved math. So I thought being an architect was an option. So, but then again, I let the fact that the fear of not having money to pay for school, like, talked me out of that option. So then I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to be an architect anymore because I don't have money. I can't rely on my parents to help me with that. And I didn't want to go into school and be in debt, you know? Yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, that's no longer an option as I'm in high school about to graduate, right? So I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go finish my basics. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I finished my basics but as I'm doing this, I'm living experiences through different jobs. I get a job at an insurance place, learning how to do sales. Didn't know that learning how to do sales at such a tiny insurance place was going to take me to a funeral home and I was going to make $50K the next year. Like, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I just went with whatever God put in my lap and I just took it. Like, and when I tell you, girl, that I went knocking on Southmore, the tienditas, to go ask for a job. I would knock and be like, oh, are y'all hiring? And they would tell me, yeah, I would apply. And then I ended up walking into that insurance place and I was like, are y'all hiring? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, can I apply? And she interviewed me and gave me the job right on the spot. Wow. And I literally feel like that was God placing me in the right time and the right moment because that was the district manager que llegó a esa tienda ese día and she happened to interview me and I got the job. In sales. Yeah. Like, I would never think, like, in high school at your age, oh, I'm going to go get a sales job because sales jobs are the worst jobs. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't want to be in sales.
But it does teach you a lot, like, communication skills. And it teaches you how to talk, customer service. And
it teaches you how to have great conversation with people. You know, you learn a lot through a lot of experiences. So, no, like, when I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew what I wanted of me. Yeah. And what, like, not in career wise, but my goals and expectations for myself, you know. Yeah. When I tell you that if I feel like I would have gotten pregnant before marriage, I probably would have felt like I failed myself. Yeah. Because I set that goal for myself. Nobody did. I did, you know. But again, I wanted that because of what I would see around me. You know, I think if I had happy parents, I don't think I would expect that, you know, mentality, but it was just like something that I wanted. And when I did it, girl, when I tell you the day of my wedding, I was so happy. I did it. Happy because I was like, and I remember I told my mom, because at that point me and my mom were okay, you know. And I remember I told her like she told me she was proud that I was able to, you know, do the whole marriage thing. Then I literally moved in with Roland the day after my wedding. Before then, we never lived together. And it's just not as...
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Not many people can say that, actually.
Yeah. So it was hard, you know, but I mean, it happened, you know. And so I guess for me, you know, to wrap that up would be like, I didn't know career-wise, but I knew that I was open to any business, like... I wanted to be my own boss, but
you didn't know, like, your lifestyle, how you wanted to live life.
Yeah, like, even now as a mom, I'm just like, well, I know that I don't want to be that type of mom, so I'm going to be a different mom, you know, like that. Mm-hmm. I know I don't want my clothing brand to look like that, so I'm going to make it like this, you know. There's just, I'm open to whatever I let God guide me. Yeah. You know, I think on my Instagram, I think the first thing that says is with God's guidance, because I'm big on that. Mm-hmm. Like, if God's guiding me, sometimes I don't even know that he might be telling me, go left, and I'm going to go right.
But you have to walk, you know what I mean? You have to take the step.
Like, and
you can't just, like, como ella, like, you know, she went and she knocked at the door, and then it was opened. You know, that's God saying, like, welcome in.
Yeah, it's not going to be, like, just... Oh, here you go, Nicole. Yeah, here's a you know, an amazing assistant job to the market director. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Like,
you gotta go knock at the door.
Yeah, you gotta put in the work, you know. And obviously, with putting in the work, it's also like putting in the prayer. Like, you know, even Milo right now, like, it's just, you know, I mean, not everybody's big on God, you know, but like we talk about God on here all the time. You know, we're like big on prayer and big on having faith. You know, so. With that being said, let me just restart it really quick so we can ask her these. We'll be back, guys. and we are back. Like I was saying, I for sure knew I was not going to be a doctor or a nurse. I hate blood. I hate the shots. I hate the injections. I hate all of it.
Yesterday I was in the labor. I saw my tia give labor. Yeah. You were in yesterday. Yeah. And I saw it all. The baby come out, you know, her pushing, her having contractions. It was beautiful. That make you feel? I was like, wow, that's really nice. It's really nice. I just didn't like the way the doctors kind of treated her and the baby. They were kind of doing the baby kind of rough, and it was a preemie. Yeah, and then they tugged on her placenta, like really, like kind of yanked it off, like we're tugging on it. So I was like, I don't. And my tia was in pain. Like, I kind of want to be like, bro, don't tug on it. Like, just let it come out by itself.
Okay. You read this girl's post, ya sabes.
I know. I read stars. Yeah.
So, you said you didn't have any idea, right? What you wanted to do?
Business.
No. Business. Like, I've been taking classes, and like my endorsement right now in high school is business. I've been in BPA, like it's a club, Business Professionals of America, something like that. And like that's where I went to the competition and stuff. And you could do like interview competition, just everything in business I love. Like, I know that that's my passion. But whenever people would ask me, what are you gonna do? I'm like, business. Or like, well, what type of business? Because everybody says they're gonna do business, but it's like a wide range.
Yeah. I would recommend, like, since you're taking classes, I would suggest doing like some classes for marketing.
Yeah. Oh, I took marketing.
You did? Yeah, because, man, honestly, I feel like if you can get marketing under your belt, like, it's just, marketing helps any type of business. Anything you do, you can go from having a clinic and knowing their marketing on the business side, you know, or any type of business, really.
Yeah.
But that's really good, though. I think a business in general is good to get the basics, you know, and understanding of it. But now I'm going to let you take the initiative so we can meet next week. Okay? So we have some questions for you. These are table
topics.
Table topics for both of y'all. Do you tend to live in the past, present, or future?
I used to tend to live in the future. I was always thinking about my future. Like, as far as like when I have children, how do I want to present myself to them?
Because she's a control freak. She likes to control things, and this year she's working on
so that's what I'm saying. I used to I used to always like play a role in my head. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, I even went as far as like when my mother passes away, how am I gonna approach the situation? Like, I've always wanted to be under control, and like I've always thought about the future, and to the point I would always think about these things to the point that I kind of became numb to them without even knowing how I was going to react. I was like, I'm going to be straight. Like, you know what I mean? So now I live in the present.
Yeah. So that also touches on what she said about having a plan A, but being okay with whatever comes your way. Because if you have plan A and then you're just like, God forbid.
Doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. Like, you know, you freaking break a finger. Like, in her case, that she's a barber.
Yeah.
God forbid she broke a finger. It's just like, what is she going to do? Like, she's a barber. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, be okay with whatever comes your way, you know? I'm not saying just go with the flow.
Yeah, tampoco.
No. So what? Do you feel like you live in the past, present, or future?
I feel like, well, I guess it depends on the situation, because a lot of the times I think about the past and then I'm like, shoot, I shouldn't have done this because now I'm suffering right now. And then like it would always bring me down, but then I realized like it already happened. Like, there's nothing I can really do about it. Like, lo que ya pasó, ya pasó. And so I started wanting to live more in the present and like whatever comes, like doing things little by little, because I also know like God always says, like, you know, like, live your days, like, day by day, like, let tomorrow worry itself type. And then, like, and I agree with you guys, like, still have a plan, but don't stress too much about, like, the future and everything,
And, you know, excuse me, we had a guest that she was like, when she told me this, I was like, okay, you're right. She said something within the lines of, when you wake up, focus on this day. Just focus on that one day. If you're working out, focus on working out that day. Don't worry about tomorrow's workout.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know if you're going to make it to tomorrow. Focus on today. And honestly, when she said that, I was just like, man, you're right. Because I am the type that working out, I'll plan my whole week. And I'm stressing out if it's 10 in the morning and I didn't get my workout in today. Like today, for example, hoy no me levanté a las 5. And I was like, damn, I'm going to have a busy day. How am I going to like
And it's like, ya pasó. Like,
yeah, and my thought was like back then I would have been like stressing out, like, oh my God, when am I gonna do it? Like, I'm not gonna have time. Like, you know, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it tomorrow. But then I was just like, you know what? I have time before y'all got here, and I got my workout in, and I'm good. Tranquila, you know, like, yeah. When I wake up tomorrow, I'll focus on tomorrow. Like, but I know that today I was focused on, all right, today I have to do this. I have to do this meeting. I'm gonna get my workout in, eat whatever I gotta eat, and then I'm gonna do the podcast. You know, like that. I would focus on literally living day by day. Like, así como dijiste tú, you know, like, wake up and focus on being happy that one day. And that's it. I think that's what's helped me live more in the present and not focus too much like on the future. You know. The next one is, what one goal do you hope to accomplish this year?
What one goal?
Yeah, like a
do
goal
I hope to accomplish this year? I think finances, really, with my husband.
Like, because she just got married.
Yeah, I just got married.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, she got married in November. So she's learning, I guess.
Learning how to be a wife, you know. You know, it's normal stuff. Dude, it's like low-key fun. Yeah, it's fun learning how to be a wife. But I think like more so like I want to focus this year on like we do have meetings every Sunday. And just really getting to learn each other and finances.
Manage finances as a married couple.
Yeah.
Do you have a goal?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Because my goal, honestly, for, like, this year, like, because I always, like, put it, but, like, this year, I feel like, no, like, I actually got to accomplish it. I got to, like, wake up and start, like, working towards it. It's honestly, like, getting closer to God. Because, like, I feel like, especially in this age, it's harder to do that because you're a teenager, like, you're experiencing many different things. And I just feel like I have to place that, like, as my main priority. Like, I feel like where I'm at is mediocre. Like, I want to get deeper into it, you know? And actually, I feel like I have to bring my friends too closer to God. Like, I guess, because my mom has always told me, like, Nicole, like, you're made to be a leader. And, like, I'm, like, and I believe that, too, because, like, in my personality, whenever I'm doing activities, I'm always, like, okay, I feel like I take this particular role, and I feel like I have to bring my friends closer towards
Not
God.
only that, but, like, if your friends are really important to you, if you don't talk to them about what's mostly important to you, which is God, that doesn't say that, it doesn't speak that they're important. Your friends are important. Like, I told Evelyn one time, like, if I don't talk to you about God, then I'm not treating you like you're an important person to me, because God is what's most important to me. So inviting your friends into, like, guiding them, you know, the way that you want to guide them, like, through God, like, it speaks a lot about you that you do have that you do see them as important friends, because
and I
God
guess
is
making it known like that, you know, because it is harder, again, as like she said, she's in high school, like it's harder to even think that
actually, you know, my senior year, like, I isolated myself from all my friends because they were no good, right? And I would sit by myself in a corner. I and Chavez, like, we're by the auditorium in some stairs, and I would read the Bible. And my friends would come up and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading the Bible." And they wouldn't, like, say anything to me, you know. They'd be like, "Oh, okay." You know, I had just random people see me just sitting there like, "What are you doing?" "No, I'm reading the Bible." So it kind of, like, made them see me in a different light, like, dang, she changed, you know, she's not who.
So I was gonna say, like, how do you feel about that, like, if your friends are just like
seeing you in a different light, or some of them walk away from you,
especially if it's one of the biggest goals you have this year, like getting closer to God?
I'm trying, like, to think. I feel like it could serve as a motivation also, because, like, if they're seeing me, like, working towards this, they're gonna start seeing that I'm acting different. They're gonna start seeing that I'm reacting towards situations differently. And my mom always tells me this, like, people are gonna start to question, and you're gonna have an answer. You're gonna be like, well, I've been getting closer to God, and it's gonna make them think towards themselves, honestly. And then there's the other side where I do feel like people will be like, you're not fun anymore, like, I'm not gonna wanna, like, hang out with you and stuff. And honestly, I don't feel like my close friends will do that, but like my more acquaintance friends will be like, well, like she's not as how she was before. Like she doesn't make the same jokes as before. Maybe like, you know, I'll just like stop hanging out with her, you know. That's the only that concerns me.
No, I mean, I don't think it should concern you, you know, but I mean, again, I get it, right? Because you're like
in high school,
but I would say like I had told her whenever me and her would talk about it, like on the podcast, I think I was asking her questions. Obviously, you know, you're Christian, we're Catholics, and I was asking her some questions, and I was just like, but as her friend, like when she would respond to me, I swear that I was just like, and I even told her, I'm like, man, you need to do Bible study. Like I would go to that, you know, because I just feel like the way she approached me about whatever she wanted to talk to me about God is the same way your mom approached me about it. Like it was more of like, oh, let me bring you like let me talk to you about God real quick, but it wasn't like pressuring you like, oh, you're bad because you don't believe in God, or you're bad because you're not believing in God as much as I believe in God.
We're all bad, like
like it was never like that, you know. It was more like with her, I've had deep conversations, you know, even with your mom too. Like your mom was with me like when I was going through something really deep in my life, and I always tell Ronnie, I'm like, man, like even though me and Yada are we're different religions, you know, I'm like,
she's someone that you are comfortable with talking about God.
Yeah. She's, and I've talked to her about like about her, your mom. I've talked to her about because I always think about that, and I feel like if you play the role, not like how your mom did it, you know, because you guys are very different people. I can see how you can help your friends be closer to God. Like if you play. Literally picture it like that, how she said, God's very important to me. If God's important to me, like as a friend, I'm gonna respect that. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, okay, you know, like I might not be as, you know, I won't believe, maybe I'm not gonna be as close to God, but I respect you as a friend, and I appreciate your friendship, and you know, I'll support you. You know, it's like that.
Yeah, and what I don't, like, I feel like I have a gift, right, of just talking normal and then talking about God. They're two different things. You know, you have to be able to talk to, like, different groups of people.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to sit down at a table and hear somebody curse their mouth out. Yeah. Right? And still be able to keep your chill and not say, you're disgusting for that. You know what I mean? Still be able to say, I'm open. About me, right? No, I don't. If not, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, because I be saying a lot of bad words.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, you have to be able to accept what this world comes with. Yeah. And live in it. You know what I mean? Not say like, oh, you say that too much. Like, I cannot be around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not look at people.
Instead of looking at them like you're we're not superior to anybody.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Yeah.
So even if you think you're closer to God, you really don't know.
Yeah, you can't measure.
You can't measure that, you know.
Because Eve could have like the most legit relationship with the Lord, and just because I'm an arrogant person, I'm not as close as she is to the Lord, because I think I'm so highty and mighty. You know?
Yeah. So I would say, like, for sure, never feel like you're superior to your friends because you think you're closer. Yeah. But I do think that's a beautiful goal. You know, just another putting it out there. I also read that, like, if you wake up literally, like, did you tell me? No, right? Like if you wake up earlier, like for me as a mom, I should probably apply this. I started praying in the morning. She gave me this prayer that she and her husband pray, right? So since she sent it to me, I added it on my to-do lists, right? Not that it's like a to-do list, but it's just a reminder because we're human, you know, I'm always on the go. Yeah. And you're not going to believe me that if I take Milo to school, we pray that in the truck. I used to pray it by myself, you know, and now it's like, Papi, do you want me to pray or do you want to pray with me? And every morning he wants to pray with me. And I say it. It is a long prayer. It is a long prayer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a long prayer.
Yeah, so they will say it like on the truck or whatever. But
have you memorized it?
No. I say it too slow to memorize it. But like as a mom, my goal was like self-care. I'm going to focus on me, right? So I was supposed to be waking up 5 minutes earlier or 10 minutes earlier to dedicate those minutes to myself. I would suggest that for you if you want to make it a goal. Like maybe wake up 10 minutes earlier and then just those 10 minutes that you're by yourself, dedicate that to God. you know. That could be your way of working towards your goal. Like, it's just sacrificing that little bit of sleep or before. I don't know how you do it now, but
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
I've tried that before, and let me tell you, it's not easy. I rather be like, as soon as that alarm goes, I'm like, and I go back to sleep. It's very hard.
5 second rule. We talk about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And
I gotta get up.
And not even that. It's funny because 5 second rule is count to 5, and then as soon as you count down or count up or whatever,
you never get to 5.
Roll out of bed. Literally roll out of bed. Like yo. Cuando I'm just dragging, yo me doy la vuelta and I'm just like, all right.
That's it.
I'm done. Yeah. I'm up. And then my alarm clock, I literally bought one just so I won't look at my phone. So my alarm clock is like on the other side of the room, so I have to get up to turn it off. Yeah. And sometimes I'm too tired and I'm like, babe, it's your turn. Go get up.
He's like, whose idea was it to have one?
He's never told me that, but we'll take, like, sometimes I'm like, I'm tired, just go. But waking up early, like, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But another way to look at it too would be like, you're getting a head start in your day. Like, that's why I love working out in the morning, because I'm just like, damn, I'm good. It's 7 a.m. and I already got my workout and I already got my protein shake and got me ready to school. It's just one of those things. So the last question is, I'll do this one. What's your most proudest accomplishment?
I have a lot of them.
Pick one.
My proudest accomplishment. Dang, I don't know. They're all pretty like up there. I think really like my husband, who I chose as a husband.
Who you chose as a husband?
Yeah, it's my biggest accomplishment. Yeah, he's a really good partner.
That's cute.
Yeah. Well, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I love you.
He
watches every episode.
Yeah, he watches the podcast. Yeah. So what would you say is yours?
I guess whenever I tried out for my dance team, like my drill team, because like I saw Jenny do it, right? Since I was little, I was like, I really want to do that. I love performing. I love like putting on a face, like dancing in front of people and stuff. So then I was like, I want to really do that. So it took a lot of like dedication, because I came from like a dance class, which is the lowest one, while most of the people that were trying out were coming from JV. And they had like a lot of like, they knew what was going on. Experience. They knew what was going on. They knew what specific dance moves were called. Like, do a leap. I'm like, what's a leap? And I was like it was really hard. And I didn't have as much flexibility. I didn't have like rarely anything, just honestly dedication, like I really want to make this. And then it just took me like days like to learn the dance, and like I practice at home, I practice with Jenny, I practice at school with my best friend. Like we were just practicing, and then once it came to the tryouts, I was so nervous. I was like, bro, if I don't make this, because they put the paper up there of the names,
and everybody's gonna see it.
I'll be up there and be like, Nicole. I'm like, oh. And I would just have to walk away. Like, I'm like, no. So I also had to like let that go. Like if I were not to make it, like it's okay. I'll try on next year. And then who knows? Then I go up there. I'm like, Nicole. I'm like, yes. And I found it. I was so happy. Like I was very happy and excited. Like to tell Jenny, to my mom. Like Jenny made a whole post.
I saw that.
And it made me like so like proud of myself. Like that I accomplished something that I really wanted to do. Yeah.
So. It's funny, right? Because it's a completely different accomplishment.
But I'm over here looking at her like if I'm in high school and I experienced it, I'm like, wow, you made it.
So how is it? Like, you have a job, you do this, you still do dance?
Yes.
Or is the season over?
So dance is actually like full year season.
Oh, okay.
It goes from like the beginning of the year football season, where we're like we're doing stand routines, and then we perform on the field, right? And then after that we start doing shows like Christmas show, and then after Christmas show we get ready for contest. We start practicing every day, mostly till 4, and then we get ready for contest. After contest is spring show, which is like we showcase everything that we've done the whole year, and then that's it. And that's like already like in May, like it's like the whole year. And so each day I go from like 7th period to 4. And then I chose my hours to be like 5 to 10. in at my job, right? And it gets kind of hard, but I don't choose.
Oh no. To run into it.
Yeah.
No, okay. So you're off on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm off on Sundays, and then especially I don't get put in every single day, so I feel like that helps me a lot. Yeah, like to rest and to catch up on homework. Oh, and because I'm in
Oh no, you're good.
I'm in dual credit, so I have to make sure I get my homework done on time too on those rest days.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it sounds like it's a busy schedule.
Yeah, it's with the right mindset and like knowing how to spread out your work throughout the week, you could do it. But me, I'm a procrastinator, and it gets hard, and I just I need to split.
It's normal.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be, but it's normal. I mean, I'm still a procrastinator till this day. But I'm working on it. I'm better, like, honestly, because another thing, if you wake up, even that, snoozing your alarm, you're already procrastinating on your life.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it on here. Like, you're already, like, literally snoozing is like, you're the person that's procrastinating on yourself.
Your own life,
Like, you're literally like, no, I don't want to wake up today. When there's people that are, like, just ready to go,
Yeah.
So it's just, like... I mean, it's easy to say. It's hard.
I always tell people, like, if you don't take your blessing, I'm going to take it because God is going to give it to somebody. So I'm going to take it. You know? I'm going to be the one. If you don't catch that blessing, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, she's going to wake up. I'm next.
That's my blessing.
That's my blessing.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, though.
Yeah. A good mentality.
Yeah. How greedy.
I know. I'd be like, if you go to sleep, I'm taking your blessing. Don't go to sleep now.
No, snoozing your alarm is the biggest procrastination you can do in your life because, I mean, again, we're not perfect. We're human, I say it, and I've said it earlier this year, and I still snooze it a few times, maybe, because again,
but you got better.
Perfect, but I've gotten so much better, like so much better, like it's crazy. But overall, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
And it was fun.
It was fun. I'm glad that you were our first guest. We did have somebody else like in mind, right? But I think this is a good way to, the people who watch us, the guys, girls, or whatever, take a step back in reflection on how we were in high school, Because while talking to you, I was just thinking about I feel like my high school life flashed through my face. Yeah. Because it's just, we should appreciate what we have, and with the stuff that we've been through, like you said, So with that being said, don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're going to see, I don't know about the Instagram information, but just check the description below. And with that being said, peace.
Bye.
Bye.